Hello, welcome to the 14-day Practical AI Challenge, where you stop guessing and you start prompting. I'm your host, Engineer Victory. Today is day 13. We've been on from day 1 to day 2 to day 3, and today is day 13. We are left with 2 more days, right? So today we are going to be looking at something interesting. We're going to be going straight to the deep dive. We're going to be working in a live um, prompting walkthrough. And our focus for today is building a budget and expense tracker with AI. So we are going to see how we can use AI to build a budget and expense tracker. We're going to be using two applications. We're going to be using ChatGPT and we're going to be using Google Sheets. We're going to be using ChatGPT and Google Sheets. Now, there are so many things you can do with these two applications. You could also use Excel if you want, if you're more versed with Excel. But the reason why I prefer using Google Sheets is because it's stored on the cloud and you can access the information in Google Sheets from anywhere, from your phone, from your PC, from home, at work, on the go, anywhere you can access the information. If you want, you could also, budget and do your budget and tracking expense with an app. But some people like to have, control over the entire process and workflow. And so we're going to see how we can use AI to achieve that today, to build something which, would be good and would be amazing. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, so here we are with our in the AI agents. This is ChatGPT. I'm signed in into my account and we are going to start prompting and then we're going to see what we can do. So we are going to use the persona. We're going to tell ChatGPT it's an experienced financial coach and it's experience with working with Google Sheets and Excel. And today we are looking at building a budget and expense tracker. And then we are going to look at some of the things which we would like the budget and expense tracker to be able to do. And we would like it to guide us on how to do this building process, right? We may go through the entire build process looking at the time which we have, or we might not go through the entire build process, but anyway, you're going to get the hang of things and how you can do this on your own. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start by, first message. Hello, today you are an experienced financial analyst, coach, and you're an experienced financial analyst, coach, and let's just say banker, right? You have over 20 years of experience helping clients to track their money and save. Today, I want you to help me build a custom budget and finance planner in Google Sheets, right? In my next message, I will provide more information and more instructions, basically. So we have given the AI persona for the task of today, and then we are telling it what we want it to do. I'm just going to add one clause here. So it says, hello, today you're an experienced financial analyst, coach, and banker. You have over 20 years of experience working with experience helping clients to track their money, savings, and investments. All right. You are also experienced at using Excel and Google Sheets for financial management. I'm just gonna say for financial management, right? And then let it be at that. Um, but then I'm gonna send this message and we're gonna see what's the next thing. So it says, sounds good. I'll act as your financial analyst plus coach and help you design a practical, clean, automated Google Sheets system that you would actually use day to day, not just a pretty template that gets abandoned after a week. When you send your next message, include as much detail as you can. We see income sources, fixed monthly expenses, variable expense, saving goals, investments if any, debt, currency, um, how detailed you are about your tracking versus simple versus advanced. All right, so I'm going to do something simple, but you can definitely do something advanced because I don't want to dive into something that's going to be take a lot of time and then it's going to be a little bit too complicated from some of my viewers. But I just want to show you how you can do this. Right, I want a simple yet detailed expense tracker, and here is a little bit more information. Here's a little bit more information, right? I'm gonna say the sheet. Well, I'm gonna say I have multiple sources of income. I have multiple sources of income and would like to track them individually. Fixed expenses. I also have multiple expenses on a daily basis and would like to record and order them by, let's say, by day, week and month. Then we're going to look at the next thing, variable expenses. We're going to say group my expenses under general categories like transport, food and groceries, and any other necessary category for a normal person, basically. For a normal person, cool. Yeah, let me just say for a normal person and end there. Then I'm going to say saving goals, right? I want to save, let's say 10% of my salary. I want to save 10% of my combined income monthly and have the sheet automatically calculate and account for this, right? Then I'm going to say investments. I currently do not have any investments, but would like a separate sheet to track any future investments and their monthly growth. Monthly growth. Then I'm going to say for debts, I don't have any debts. Well, I don't have any institutional debts. However, I have a couple of network debt to friends and family, totaling over, let's say, over $10,000, $10,000, and I would like to make payments for this debt. Let's say, rather, I would like to make contributions to the payment of this debt monthly at 2% of my income. I would like to make contributions to the payment of this debt at 2% of my income, basically. Now you can definitely replace the percentages with literal amount. For example, you can say 1,000, $500, $200, whatever. Currency, my base currency is the USD. How detailed do you want your tracking system to be? I'll say I want a simple yet detailed tracking system, not too complicated and advanced, not too complicated and advanced. Yeah. And then we're gonna say weekly versus monthly budget preferences. I'm gonna say I prefer a monthly budget preference. And then that's I'm not done. I'm gonna stop its response because I'm not done. Right, so where was I? I was talking about savings and invest. Oh, okay. We have no. How detailed are you about tracking any financial goals, travels? I'm gonna say financial goals. I prefer budget. I prefer monthly budget. I just say I prefer monthly budgeting system. And then I am also saving towards, for example, towards my kids' education, for example. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it be at that point, and then I'm going to say one more thing. I also want the sheet to include a dashboard of important metrics, right? For important metrics. Then I'm gonna send this, and then we're gonna see what it's gonna do. So let's look at the response. It says, perfect. This is a great foundation. We'll build a clean, simple, professional monthly financial system that tracks multiple income sources, logs daily expenses, auto groups by categories, automatically sets aside savings 10%, automatically allocates debt repayment 2%, tracks educational savings, includes future investment tracker, has a dashboard with key metrics, works long term without complexity. Without complexity. Now, it's actually walking us through, doing this, step by step, but I don't want to have it show me like this, right? So I'm going to write the prompt. So let's begin the entire process again. Let's begin the creation process. Let's restart the creation process. The creation process. I will do everything in phases. At the end of each phase, I will confirm its completion before we can move on to the next phase. That way I'm not overwhelmed, I'm not overwhelmed or overloaded with tasks, right? With tasks, so you provide the first phase or step with instructions, and then I complete and confirm before we move on to the next step, basically. So the reason why I sent this prompt is because I don't want to be overwhelmed. You see here, it gave me how many steps at a time. It gave me step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7 at a time. And I don't want it to be that way, because doing all of that at the time could be very, very overwhelming. So I want it to be a basically step-by-step process, right? This is layering, prompt layering, where you don't have the AI agent keep provide everything to you at once. You do everything in a step-by-step manner, and that way, you are better off at achieving your overall goal, right? And you also understand the entire process. So let's begin and then see what we are going to do. So it says phase 1, build the core expense log. Phase 1 is for us to build phase 1 is for us to build the core expense log. Nothing else yet, no dashboard, no formulas, just structure. Think of this as building the notebook before writing in numbers. Goal of phase 1, create a clean expense sheet that lets you record expenses daily, categorize spending, keep everything organized, prepare for automation later. Step-by-step instructions. All right. Create the Google Sheet, open Google Sheet, click blank sheet, rename the file to personal finance tracker. Okay, now this is very, very detailed, so any person who um does not know how to do this is going to be able to do this, right? So basically I'm just going to follow its instructions and then come here. I just copied that name and then came here and pasted it, basically. So that's the title of the sheet, personal finance tracker. It says step 2, rename the first sheet to expenses. Okay, so I copy expenses, come here, come under here, and then just double click and then rename it to expenses. Come back here. Now it says create column headers. We have in row 1, we have type, we have date, category, subcategory, description. So I'm just going to copy this. I just want to copy only this. All right, no problem. I'm going to copy this, come over here, paste it. Then I'm going to delete all of this as that's not needed. Then I'm going to move this. I'm going to have to move this here. So I'm just doing a copy, just basic copy and paste, basically, and then that's all. So I'm gonna take this as though I'm a novice and I don't know anything about this, right? So that you can see that you can actually do this yourself at home. If you're new to Excel or if you're new to Google Sheets, you can follow these instructions and be able to do this yourself, right? It says format the cells, format date column, select column A, and then we have format number date, and then we have that's for column A, which is it's a date. Column E, format number currency USD. So it wants us to format column A as date and then column E as currency. Now it does not provide directions on where to find it. Says format date. Well, let's see. We're gonna come here, click on format, click on number, click on date. So everything here is formatted as date, but there is one little thing which you might not have caught. By clicking this as date, you formatted only this particular cell here as date. So you need to come here, click on this entire column, go back to format, number, and then choose date. That way you see everything in this column is recognized as date, right? We're going to come over here to the amount column. Now don't just click here, because if you format only this is going to be formatted as currency. So click up here, so you select the entire column, come to format, come to number, come to currency, right? So this entire place is currency. So if you add any entry here, it appears as currency. If I had formatted only this first cell up here, it would not appear as currency down here. It's just going to appear as 2, for example. It's just going to appear like that, right? But you need to select the entire column. Let's continue. Now it says step 5, add expense categories. So this prevents messy typing. Select column B. Well, it does ask us to select the column and not the cell. Select column B, then we move to data validation, criteria, drop down, and then we add all these options, right? Let's come over here. We come to category. We're going to click on this, select the entire column, click on data. We need to move to data validation. Where is data validation? Come over here, and then we're going to add row. We're going to switch to drop down, right? Then we're going to look at all. Just come back here and copy all these options we have here. Copy, come back here. I'm just going to paste them here for easy copying and paste. And then I'm going to come over here, just copy this. Category 1, transportation. Then I'm going to add item, come over here, cut. Category 2, food and groceries, come over here, cut. Add item, category 3, paste. Then we have utilities. Now you can definitely add as many categories as you need in your own for your own personal use case. If there is something which you definitely need to include, just note it down, right? Maybe you don't have all this, you don't need to include all these categories. Yeah, definitely don't. If you have more categories which you want to include, then do include them, right? Then I'm going to finally click here. All right, then I'm just gonna delete all of this because I don't have any use for it. Now, one thing I always like doing is adding a color code here. So for example, transportation, let's set it to this color, then food and groceries to green, then housing and utilities to light green. Well, rent and housing, actually, utilities to blue, health, let's set that to dark blue, education, let's set that to red, family support, let's set that to this light purple color, personal, let's set that to white. Well, entertainment, let's set it at this color. Then miscellaneous, let's set it at yellow. So basically, then you click on done. Now whenever you come here and you click, you want to select any entry, just come here and then you select, right? But we're not going to do that because we are not including the data now. Now it says now category is selectable from the list. Then we want step 6, freeze header. Go to view, freeze row 1. So we're going to come over here to view, we're going to come over to freeze, and then freeze this row 1. So that way, as we scroll up and down, this first row stays and it doesn't change, right? Now there is a little bit of invalidity showing up here, and that's because we included the entire column, but that's not really a problem. It's not so much of a problem. We're just gonna ignore that anyway. So let's go to step 7, bold header, select row 1 and then bolding it. So you just come over here, click on row 1 here, and then come and bolding everything there basically. Now it says end results of phase one. You need to have a professional daily expense log. So Swift, right? We're gonna copy this and then we see how to paste it here. Let's see whether it's going to go. So just paste. Oh, it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. So I'm going to say food and groceries. I'll come over here, copy this date, paste it here. Oh, crazy. Anyhow, I'm just going to come over here and then edit this, delete this all out. Then click on enter. Then we have a subcategory launch, and then I'm going to copy this, right? Paste it there. Take that out, click on OK, come to description, paste it there, take that out, and then come over here, take that out, click on OK. Then just gonna enter the amount, click on enter, and then you have your first entry. Now you can definitely expand this column so you can see things more clearly. To avoid this error, just click on this cell, click on the delete button. I'm going to, well anyway, let me just undo that. Let it be there. Now I'm going to come back here and then say stop here, do not add formulas yet. Now when phase one is complete, reply phase one complete. So I'm done with phase one. I'm just going to reply phase one complete. Now the reason why I asked it to do it this way is because should in case I encounter problems, it's easier to troubleshoot the problems and stay within the framework of the workflow. Because if I should have just taken what it gave me at the beginning and then just begin to do everything and I encounter a problem, it will become difficult for me to troubleshoot it. But when we break it down into phases and steps, it becomes much more easier to troubleshoot and to fix any errors if they should arise, right? Now we are currently on phase two. It says this phase creates a structured way to track multiple income sources and automatically total them. Now it says still simple, still focused. So the first thing we've done here is we've just created an expense sheet here. So basically this is for the 1st of February. You can definitely pull that down, and then you have I don't like what it's doing. I'm going to undo this, and then I'm just going to say second. Oh, undo. Oh, yeah. Is this even correct? Let me see. I don't know which date format this is, but let me just confirm that to be sure. Date. Yeah, so it's okay. This is the American date standard, where it starts with the month, then we have the day, then the year. You should be able to change that format. Let me see if it's possible to change that format. It may not be possible to change that format. Yeah, okay, yeah, we do have custom date and time, but I'm just gonna let it be like that. It's not a problem for me. But you can definitely, let's see, for my viewers who may want to change that to something which they are more familiar with. Let's do the custom date and time. You can definitely use this. Right now it starts with month, then day. You can definitely, we have date, day, month here. Oh, let's see, let's delete this. So, and then we now come over here. Oh, we're gonna come over here and then let's delete that. We're gonna add month, come here, delete this, and then add a stroke, click on the drop down, then add year. So we have the day first, then the month, then the year. Days with leading zeros, 05, no problem. Month with leading zeros, I'm just gonna let it no that's yeah. And then here 2 digit here, that's okay. Then apply. So it changed, right? So we have the 2nd of January 2026. Then by scrolling down, it applies to the entire cell. But one thing you can do is you can hold this, click on Control Shift and then the down arrow, then it just applies to the entire column. So any new, I can just drag this and then it just continues with the same format basically. So that's just a trick for those of you who may not have known that. Right, let's continue. Paste to income tracking sheet. The goal, you will track each income separately, see total monthly income, prepare data for savings and debt automation later. So step 1, add a new sheet. Click at the bottom left and then rename the sheet to income. Let's do that. And then we see. All right, so come over here to click on this, add a new sheet, double click on this, then paste it. So we have the income sheet. To go back, now it says create column headers. Now we are gonna, just as we did for the expenses, just do a cut and paste, a cut and then a paste over here, a cut and then a paste over here, and then just delete all of this. Now we can definitely, well, let's just follow its instructions. Now it says format the date and then we format the currency just as we did before. So we are going to come over here to date, come over to this, select this, the entire column A, go to format, go to number, go to date. I don't want to use this same date, so I'm just going to do a little trick. I'm going to come back to the expenses, going to click here, select the entire thing, click on Control C, which is copy, then come to income, click over here, then click on Control V, and then I can still come over here and delete all these entries. My main issue is to have the same format basically. And then for the amount, just click, select the column, go to format, go to number, and then choose currency. Yeah, so it's settled. And then now it's gonna ask us to freeze this column. Let's embolden this row and then go into view, freeze up to row 1. Let's continue. It says, so we've emboldened it and then we freeze to row 1. Add a total income calculator. Now it says click on cell F1, we name it income, total income. So cell F1, we name it total income. Going back here, it says click on cell F2 and then we input this formula. So we're going to come here, click on cell F2, just do a paste and then click on enter. Well, enter. Then I'm just going to come over here, put my mouse just at this circle here, click on Control Shift and then the down arrow. It just goes down to the very bottom of the sheet. So anytime I enter any entry here, it automatically calculated for the total income. Now we're going to continue. This automatically sums up all income entries. Whenever you add income, totals update instantly. Okay, so we say step 5. Now we're going to test the sheet. So we are supposed to use this data to test the sheet. Let's do this. I'm going to come over here, just paste this here so we can do copy and paste one by one. We're going to do this, cut it, come over here, paste it, and then we're going to come over here, we're going to cut it, salary, paste it, and then we have description is monthly pay. Then we're gonna have 2,000, so it has $2,000. Okay. Oh, we didn't need to we didn't need to have done this to the entire didn't need to have done anyhow. The formula is not shown, so it's okay. Let's continue. We're gonna move over to the next day. The next entry called paste and then freelance. Cut, come over here, paste it. Then we have website job, cut, paste, and then here we're gonna cut also and then paste. And then we can come over here and embolden this value just so we it's easily seen, because this is a total sum of income. Now we move on to then confirm F2 updates correctly. Now here it does update because 2000 plus 350 is 2350. Now you now have organized income. Phase 2 is complete. Now I'm going to now reply phase 2 complete over here so we can move on. Remember there were 6 phases initially, so we are now on phase 3 and we are taking it in a slower pace, right? Now the next phase is budget automatic allocations. Pull your total income annually, calculate 10% saving. Sorry, pull your total income automatically, calculate 10% savings, calculate 2% debit repayment, show your real spendable balance, prepare the dashboard later. No manual math ever again. So we're going to say step-by-step instructions. We're going to add a new sheet and then we're going to call this budget. No problem. Come over here, add a new sheet, call this budget, right? Then we're going to come over here. So it says create layout in column A and column B. So we're just going to copy this basically, come over here and then paste it. So it automatically scales. We have column A, total column, total income savings 10%, debt repayment 2%, total monthly expenses remaining balance, right? Then we're going to say step 3, pull total income automatically, right? Now it says this connects the budget to your income sheet. So we're going to say now click B1, paste this. So we're going to click on B1 and then paste on that basically. So it's equal to income, referencing the income sheet, and then basically it just pulls the data from the income sheet. Let's keep going. It says this connects the budget to your income sheet. Income changes, budget updates automatically. Saving formula. So we are supposed to click on B2 and then paste this. Click on B2. This is B. This is that B2 or B3. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be B2. I'm gonna delete this and then what am I gonna do? Delete the row. Yeah, basically. So B2. The reason why I deleted that row because I was repeating A and B, which it was already here, so it will just serve as a source of confusion, which it ought not to be so. Then now we're going to see the debt formula calculation. Copy this, come over here. It says B3, paste this in B3. Come over here, paste in B3, and then it says 6, pull total expenses automatically. So B4, gonna copy this and then come over to B4 and then paste it. Okay, do we have entries in the expense? Yes, we do. $12. Then we're gonna come over here and this says remaining balance, and then we're gonna copy this, paste it in B5, come over to B5 and then paste this. Now I'm going to highlight this, yeah, and then highlight this also. I think I can even highlight every part of this, but it's okay. Anyway, I would say format currency, select column B, format currency USD. bold color A, color column B lightly. So we are gonna, well, this is already formatted anyway, since most of the data was pulled from, where the places where it was pulled from. But anyhow, let's still, just it's currency already. Then it is, let's color this lightly. So we're going to select this and then come over to fill color, take a light color, let's say maybe like a light, yeah, maybe this can go, yeah, something like that. Then it says test the system, add fake income plus expense, watch the numbers update automatically. This confirms the engine works, then delete the test. Right, end results of phase 3. Now I'm going to come over here and then add some more data. Let's say rent and housing. I'm just going to say rent. I'm going to say description, house rent, and then I'm going to say $500. And then coming to the budget, you can see the total expense has changed, remaining balance has also changed. Right, let's add one more here. Let's say utilities, we're gonna call this electricity. Then its description, home electric bill, and then I'm gonna say it was 250. So let's come over here and check in our budget. You see total expenses has changed, right? So it does work. Now I would have loved this to be shown on a monthly basis, a month by month basis, but anyway, let's see what the AI agent is doing. Let's just continue. At this point, I can definitely stop and definitely tell it I don't want it to continue this way, because for the income can, indefinitely go on to maybe income for month 1, for month 2. For example, it's showing currently income for, this is the first month, right? And then it's also showing income for the 5th month. Now that's not something I want it to do. I want it to show income for 1 month, consistent. I want there to be that breakdown, right? But anyway, let's just move on. Maybe it may have a workflow for this, right? So it says phase 3, debt tracker plus education savings plus structure. I'm just gonna continue with this, and then at the end of it, I'll see how to edit it. Now you can definitely let it know that you would like the thing to roll on a month by month basis, or for you to do it on a month by month basis. You could, for example, set this as your budget and expense tracker, and then you come over, you put maybe for the month of, May, for the month of June, basically. But anyway, there are some more advanced things we can do to make it to be month by month, but let's just keep it simple as it is currently. So we're gonna say month 3 is complete. Get out of this message. Now moving to phase 4, debt tracker plus educational fund. We're gonna say no automatic overload, goal of phase 4, all of that. Now it says part A, debt tracker. It wants us to create a new sheet and then we rename it as the debt sheet. Let's do so. We're gonna call this the debt sheet. I'm just gonna come and, yeah, just drag it like that. Then it says create column headers. We have person, original debt, paid so far, remaining, and then note. So I'm just gonna copy this, come over here, and then paste it. And then I'm just gonna do basically some copying and pasting here. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna come over here, just do some little editing, then move to the next one. That's that. Then move to the next one. So I like these headings. These headings are quite nice. Yeah, and then I think that should be all. All right, so yeah, let's go back. Then it says the remaining formulas. Click on D2, and then we should paste the formula is equals to B2 minus C1. So we're going to click on D2. This is D. This is D2. Paste in the formula. It's B2 minus C1. Then it says drag the formula down the column. So dragging the formula down the column, it wants us to do this, but this is going to be very, very strenuous. So just put your cursor over here, over this little circle here, as shown on the screen. Click on Shift key, Control Shift, and then the down arrow key. It should. Well, let me just highlight this and try that again. It should normally take that value and extend it to the entire. Well, you may just have to drag, but I'm gonna let it be just over here. Just let it be at that level for now. Then we're gonna say total remaining debt should be now below your entries. Example D20. Type should type this D20 now below the entry. So for example, you can say how many debts do you have? Maybe if you have up to 20 debts, let's say I have just 5 debts, so I would need this to be filled only from the first to only from the second to the sixth. So all the remaining part of this is just going to money that. I'm gonna come over here, just leave some space for maybe if I should take on more debts. If I were the one using this, then paste this here, right? I'm going to have to pull this all the way down here so this makes sense, because this is the sum. Now it's showing us that there's an error here. Calculate dependency detected. Resolve this calculation, see file setting. I'm just gonna clear this and then come again over here, paste, and now let's try to do that by hand and see if it's going to give that to me. This sum. Let's just do from open a bracket and click enter. And that's it automatically calculated the entire thing. Now the formula the AI agent gave us was from D to D. D to D is the entire column. And you cannot be doing some of D to D in the same column. It doesn't make sense. If you want to do some of the column, then that entry must enter another cell. So for example, if I should put D to D here, there should be no problem because it's referencing the sum of all the entries in this column. But I cannot be putting the sum of the entries in of a column and then I am entering that sum inside the cell in the same column. It doesn't make sense. So that's a flaw which the AI agent did not catch. Since I already know how to use the software, I kind of like escape that. But if you have that error, you can definitely say and definitely show it. But let's just go on. Now it says label the cell total debt remaining. Label cell next to it total debt remaining. So I'm just going to copy this. I clicked on the wrong. I'm gonna come over here, click on this, and then so going to merge all of this. Let me close this because I don't need this. Merge all of this, and then yeah, let it be that way. I'm gonna come over here, part B, educational savings costs. Sheets rather, add another sheet. This is gonna be educational saving fund. I'm going to add this. I'm going to do this educational saving fund. Come back here. Now row 1 should be date, contribution, total, saved notes, and so on and so forth. I'm going to paste this. Now we are going to, well, I don't like the way this thing is. Date, contribution, total saved, and then notes. I'm going to delete that. Then just enter it manually. Dates, then contribution, total saved, and then notes, right? Let's continue. Now it says running total formula. Click C2 equals to B2. If you're clicking on C2 equals to B2, then it asks us to paste, and in C3, C2 plus B3. Okay. So we have clicked C2, right? In C2 paste, B2 is equals to this is equals to B2. That means we are setting this to be equals to the contribution. Oh, I see. Then we are gonna come to C3 and then we're adding C2 plus B3. So basically we are initializing it here. Here we are initializing it. So if the contribution is $100, the total saved is $100. Then if the contribution here is 150, the total is going to be 100 plus 150, and then it's just going to be 150 plus 100. Then it's going to overlap to the next thing. All right, so let's continue then. So that's C2 plus B3. Then we're going to drag this downward. Let's just drag it over to the third cell and then let it be there. Then let's continue. Now it says every time you add a contribution, total of the format currency, format columns, USD, and so on. All right, so let's continue. Now, end of phase 4. Debt tracker with live balances, education saving, progress logs, clear view of obligations, long-term family planning built in. This is real financial clarity. Now we're going to say phase 4 complete, and then we're going to continue. Now we're going to move to phase 5. Remember, we had 6 phases. Let's move to phase 5. Now in phase 5, we see investments you make in the future, current value, growth in dollar, and so on and so forth. So we're going to create a new sheet here. Now that sheet is going to be the investment sheet. We're going to copy it, paste it, investment sheet. Then we're going to come over here, create column headers, dates, investment. Let's do this as we did basically for the other values. Paste, and then we're just going to do cut or copy and paste. Basically, all right, then we'll come over here. Then we're gonna just do some manual editing and make sure the entire thing is okay. We'll just do some manual editing and make sure the entire thing is okay. Growth. Now the growth column is important because it shows how much our investment has grown over time. Then undo that, undo, and then it shows growth percentage, right? We're probably gonna have to bolden this, then we're gonna have to freeze this, right? Then expand this, right? So let's continue. So it says paste D2 is equals to C2 for A2. So we're going to come over at E2 and then paste this, right? So basically we continue with we're going to click on E2, then we're going to paste this here. We're going to go to E2. We've already pasted this on E2. We're going to continue, drag downwards. So we're going to drag it over to over here. Basically, depending on the number of investments you have, basically. Then growth percentage formula. We are going to click on this, copy this and paste on F2. We're going to paste on F2. Then we're going to drag it down to the same height, same level. Then step 5, format currency. So column C, column E, the both of them are, where is that? We have column C and column E, the both of them are, so column C, we're going to format it number, and then it's going to be currency. Then column E, we're also going to format it number, then currency. Then we're going to come over here and then we're going to format column A as date. So you're just going to come over here, back to the occasional, come to the debt. No, we're going to come back to the income actually. Copy this column and then come over to the investments and then paste it so that we maintain the format. Then it says end result, we should have investment logged, automatic profit slash loss tracking, percentage growth tracking, ready for stocks, crypto funds, and then everything. Right now I'm going to do some testing. I'm going to say, for example, let's say stocks, and then invested amount $200. Current value of the investment is $300, right? So it has grown by 0.5%, and then our growth is $100. And then let's say crypto, for example, we invested $1,000, and then the current value is, let's say, $700. It represents that's a loss of $300 with a loss percentage of 0.3%, right? Then we're going to continue for the final phase. We're going to move over to the final phase, dashboard with charts plus key financials. So we're going to say phase complete. So now this is a great level tracker the way it is already. It comes with everything, but now you would now have to rebuild this or copy or create a new one of these documents for every month if you'd want to be able to see everything by month. Because, for example, when it comes to the budget, right now it's taking 10% of this as the money comes in, every time, but it does not also take into account the fact that, for example, the savings, right? For example, this amount, you spend this amount to save, you actually save this amount, and it can be calculated maybe as an expense, or in the expense sheet it can go as a saving. Anyway, well, it actually depends on what you want to put, but let's just let it be the way it is currently anyway. So we're going to say for phase 6, financial dashboard, this sheet pulls key numbers, shows income versus expense, savings and debt allocations, remaining balance, total debt level, expense breakdown chart, snapshots of your financial health. No new math, right? So we have step 1, create dashboard sheet. So we're going to call this, we're going to create a new sheet. I'm going to call dashboard. Just going to create a new sheet and then going to call it dashboard. We'll let it be there. We're going to come step 2, key metrics, right? So we're going to copy this and then we're going to paste it here. So it automatically copies the various from the various columns in the various sheets. Total income, it gets our total income. Total expense, it gets our total expense. Our total savings, our debt payment, our remaining balance, and then total left debt left, right? Then now we're gonna come here, format B as USD. So we're gonna format this, come over to financial currency, and then step 3, expense by category table. So we are going to have to insert a pivot table. So it says click somewhere, example A9. Let's come over to A9, somewhere here. I'm just going to, this is set as finance. I'm going to just undo this, right? And then let let the format of this be automatic. It may affect our pivot table, and I do not want it to do so. So I'm going to come over here and say click somewhere, example A9, insert pivot table, then expense sheet, right? Then we should now take configure our rows should be category, and then the value should be the amount. So let's do that. So I'm going to come over here to A12, click on insert. Where is pivot table? Pivot table. Now we're going to say data range, create pivot table, existing sheet. Let's get our data range, configure our source expense sheet. So we're going to come over, let me cancel this. We're going to say, we're going to come over here and then basically just take this data from here, then click create sheet. It should normally, well, in Excel this normally transfers over in Excel. We're just going to go here, I'm going to stop there, come over here and to the end. Yeah, so click on OK. Please enter a valid destination. So our destination is on the dashboard. Click on OK. Great. So we have our dashboard, our pivot table here. So we have the row should be the category. We're going to add category, and then the column should be the amount. So for our column, we're going to be the amount, and then it's going to be, let's say, ascending. Yeah. But I'm going to cancel this. And then for columns, I'm going to put the amount again, and then I'm going to say descending is okay, and then we'll put the sort by the amount. Now we can uncheck show totals, or we can still let it be. Then let's continue. This creates a summary table of where money goes, expense by chart. Now it says click the pivot table. Now we're going to come back here. We have food, rent, and utilities. So there's a little issue here. We have food, rent, utilities. Just trying to, now basically at this level here for the pivot table, we can definitely prompt the AI agent and let it know that we are having difficulties here. That is, if that's the case, right? I'm going to come over here, edit. I'm going to say gonna come over, going to, supposed to be category. I'm going to delete this. Let's do this again. So for our rows, we're going to have category in our rows, and then for our columns, we are going to have amount. Then we're going to come up here and then sum of amount for each category. Click on that. That was the so we have sum of amount for each category, sum of amount for each category, and then each subcategory. We are going to just focus on this. Yeah, sum of amount for each category because we don't need any subcategory. The reason why we have this empty space, coming back here for the expense tracker, is there any empty space here? Well, there's no empty space, but that's okay anyway. It does not affect our overall report. We're going to come over to here, step 4. It says click on the pivot table, insert chart, pie chart, title, insert breakdown, expense breakdown. Then this visually shows spending habits. So it says click on the pivot table, then insert chart, pie chart. So we're going to do this. We're going to click here. We're going to do insert. We're going to look for chart, and then yeah, it automatically selected the pie chart. The reason it did that is because it looked at our data and then decided the pie chart is going to be the best summary of our data or the best way to visualize it. Now, this is a great visualization because it shows you basically um, where your money is going. I think we'll need to edit this to remove the grand total because we don't need the grand total here. Grand total is kind of affecting our data, so we're going to try to do that to remove this chart area, chart style, data range. I'm just going to undo this and then click here just over there and then insert and then chart. And now this is better because this is better. Yeah, it does not involve the grand total, so you can see where you're spending your money. You can see where your money is going actually. So 32% is going on utilities, 1.6% on food, and then 65% is going on rent and housing. Let's continue. So step 5, income versus expense. Now it says create a summative table, and then we have metrics, amount, income, budget, expense. Select the table, insert column chart. So we are going to do this. We are going to copy this, and then where are we going to place our table? Let's close this and close this also. I'm going to place this here, and then we're going to create a little table somewhere just here. Now we are going to have to edit this. We'll cut this out and then come over here and paste it. Same thing here. We're going to cut this out. Then come over here and then paste it. We're going to come over here. We're going to cut this out. Come over here and paste it. We're going to come here, remove this. We're going to come over here, remove this, and then for the metrics we're going to come over here also, remove this. Then now we are going to select this and then create a chart. Now we can now change the chart here. The AI agent said we should use a column chart. It's giving us a pie chart, but let's use a column chart. This is a column chart, so then I'm going to close this, make it smaller. We're going to do the same thing here, make this also smaller. to put this over here. We are going to bring this here and then also make it, I want to make this smaller. Yeah, so we have our income is currently more than our expenses. Let's continue. um you can title the chart, but we don't need to do that. Then now we're going to do step 6: resize the chart, align metrics at the top, chart below, and then top equals to numbers, bottom equals to visuals. And that's it basically. So our system is basically complete. Anytime we add expenses here, it automatically updates in our budget sheet and then also in the dashboard. Now this is not needed. I'm just going to delete this. We don't need this. Yeah, it is also going to automatically update in our dashboard, in our debt sheet, also educational fund, and then our investments. Now we can keep on adding. For example, let's say I'm adding this, and then I'm adding this, and then here I'm adding an expense of $5,000. Now you see that. Let's come to income. Our income stays the same basically, but our budget has shifted because our expense is now beyond our total income. When we come to the dashboard, we are going to see now expenses are more than the income, right? And those, it reflects in everything basically. So this is a great way to build a budget and financial tracker with AI. Now it says if you want next level upgrade, we can make monthly reset automation, yearly reports, saving progress bars, alerts when overspending, mobile friendly layout, and so on and so forth. You can basically just continue whatsoever thing you want here, and then you get the results you're looking for. So we're going to end with that for today. And then we're going to continue tomorrow, which is going to be the final day in the 14-day practical AI challenge. Thank you very much for staying with me. See you tomorrow.